My name is Leann Cooper, and this week is Inventors Studio. This is part 4. Inventors Studio is all about taking our 2D ideals and making them 3D. And today we are going to take paper, but we're going to make some 3D type flowers, and it's going to be in honor of one of my favorites, Vincent van Gogh. Okay, so for this project, you will need a piece of paper that's going to be your backing board. That can be tag board, or it can be a cardboard that you paint white or paint a different color. It doesn't have to be white. But this is 8.5 by 10, so I would work probably with this size because we're going to create some 3D flowers out of this paper. Now this is old sheet music. I really wanted to use newspaper, so you don't have to use old sheet music. In fact, I've done it before, mostly in the newspaper, and the newspaper is thinner, so it actually works a little bit easier for making our leaves and our petals look a little more 3D. You will need a brush. You will need yellow, green, and brown watercolor. You'll need some water, a pencil, a pair of scissors, and you can use a glue stick or white glue. Okay, our first step of this project is to take your newspaper or take your old sheet of music, something that's printed. I just think it's going to make it look a little more interesting. And what I did is I got a little bit of watercolor with some water, and I did a small section green and a small section yellow, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of brown over here. This is going to be your first step. After all of that is dry, then we'll be able to start cutting. Once you have your sheet music or your newspaper painted and dried, that's when we're going to start cutting out our elements to make our sunflowers. So you will take your bigger sheet of tag board. I used a small one just so I could do this example a little bit quicker. Now, first I did the stem and the leaf on the stem because I figured that the petals would be underneath, so it'd be easier to put the petals after the stem. You can see where I cut that out here, and I cut out the leaf. Now, this week is about being 3D, so instead of leaving our leaf flat, before I glued it down, I took it in my hands and I just followed where the vein might be and just sort of manipulated it a little bit to where it was sticking up. Then I glued it down, and I used the glue stick on mine. Then I cut out these petals, and you may want to draw a design on the back of where your colors are if that makes you feel more comfortable. I just cut mine out freehand, so it doesn't matter whichever one you want to do. But I'm going to cut out another petal. And remember, they don't have to be all the same size. They don't have to look perfect, because if you look at a sunflower, all the petals are different sizes. Some of them are raggedy even. So once you have your flat piece here, it's completely flat, you can just take it and just start making a little like pleat in there and bending it. This is where newspaper works a little bit better than the music, but if you have something a little thicker, you can still make it work. Once you kind of have it bowed up a little bit, that's when you can take your glue, put it on the back where it's going to be touching the paper, and hold it down. Once these are glued, you can even come back through and adjust them a little bit. The biggest thing to remember is that we're going for a 3D look here. Now, I saved the center part of the sunflower for last, so it would cover up all these edges of the petals. this is where I painted the brown, and I made some little like V cut marks in here because I wanted to make some texture. Because if you look at a sunflower in the middle, the seeds kind of have a little texture. Remember, if you want to, you can use your pencil to cut out, use your pencil to make an outline of the center of the sunflower if you want to. I'm just going to try to eyeball it, but you do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Cut that out like that. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller here. I think I'm going to make it a little bit more oval shape too. And you can see maybe where I made these cuts with the scissors, and they're like V cuts, and then I kind of flipped them up a little bit with my scissors there, and that just makes it look like there's a little texture there, so it's not completely flat. Then I'll put some glue in the back. Put it down there and hold it down. Now, normally, if you were in class with me, we would have a larger sheet of paper, and we would probably do like 3 to 4 sunflowers. This is just a small example for you to see, but at home, I hope you do a few more, and I hope you enjoyed this project. So today we learned how we can take paper and make it into something 3D. It doesn't always have to be 2D. And we created some sunflowers in honor of most of everybody's favorite Vincent van Gogh. I hope you enjoyed it.